When I see the kids working in knowledge building as a teacher, I feel great because that, I think, is my role. I don't come into this thinking that I am the keeper of all knowledge and I'm Mr. Britannica. My job is to show them the roots, the pathway, the thinking processes, and not even to show them so much as to say, you have them, but just to trigger them and to release them and let them discover them on their own. I think that has a longer lasting effect that stays with it and resonates with them longer when they feel that they've discovered it. And all I've done is just guided them along the way. How did you come up with who you're going to contact for primary data?
We went through our sources, like our links that we used for the project, and down below there was like links to like the authors who wrote this and stuff, and we also searched up a little bit more on Google, etc.
I am seeing evidence that the students are going much deeper into the subject matter. I mean, the goal is to teach them the processes, but when the subject matter is something that they've come up with, they care about, what's coming back to me is evidence of research, of thinking, of evaluation that's going further, I think, than I can motivate them by telling them what to do. We're only a week into the project now. You guys have been brainstorming, I presume, right? Tell me about it. Where are you? Have you selected your disaster that you're going to work on and what the project is?
Yeah, we picked tornadoes to do because we just felt like we were most interested in that topic instead of the other ones that we were originally talking about.
You guys all sat down and had a voice and saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then what did you do? You sat and just kind of chatted about each one?
We found out more about tornadoes than the other.
Okay. And then are you guys interested in tornadoes? Because this is your project, right? This is something you're driving, so you've got to be, you want to do it. And I'm giving you that choice and that freedom to choose what you want to do. I sometimes think if I were to teach this class in a more, let's call it traditional sense, where I'm coming up and telling the students what we're learning. I think of students like I have this one student, Salaimon, and he just constantly shoots out ideas. And one might look at it and say, Sal, stay on topic, stay focused. But when we have this framework of knowledge building, all those ideas, they're valid ideas, they're his ideas. It's not for me to say that these aren't good ideas, but what's wonderful is that we let the rest of the class take these ideas and say, what can we do with these? Are they good? Then Sal, he feels that he's part of the class. He feels that he's learning. He feels that what he thinks and what he says has some merit. And at the same time, by that process of knowledge building, of having accountable talk where the students challenge him to explain it further or they build on it, it's a way for him to learn which of his ideas are good. Having been here at the school for a number of years now, and I see that we've had this journey of inquiry and knowledge building for the last year and a bit. It is amazing to hear the talk when I walk through the hallways. It's not about the latest video game, it's not about what we're doing after school for fun or what movie we saw. The students feel that they are, I don't say running the school, they're driving the learning here. And the discussions I'm hearing is about the project, about the survey that they've done, the person they've contacted. And there's a level of enthusiasm and engagement and ownership that it's just so refreshing as a teacher to see and hear. I know that the kids want to come to school because they want to get on the computers, they want to talk with the group, and they want to do their project, not because it's a project, but again, because they're learning. And I think that's inherent in children if we let them have that opportunity to learn. I have this up, not just here in the back, I have it here prominently in the back, but I also have it spread out throughout the room. We have what I call transitional phrases for accountable talk. Now, accountable talk, even when I explain to the kids, they're not sure what it is. It's a way of taking that, I call it like that pizza dough of information and stretching it out to build something bigger. I find a lot of the communication skills at the middle school level, they're still being developed. And so, for example, a student might say, well, I think this opinion about something, and the other student in the class might just shout out, you're wrong, or that's not true. I disagree with Bobby. And then that just shuts the door down on any learning, on taking it any further. One of the great things of accountable talk is that in the classroom, it opens up the discussion to be about the idea, not about the student or the student's idea specifically. Because when we challenge something that somebody said and we keep it personal, it becomes that person-to-person discussion. When we say, I would like I would like you to expand on your idea, the ownership changes to become the classroom's idea. And from that, it kind of opens the playing field for everybody to have a chance to grab that ball and build on it, throw it back at somebody, bounce it around, feel it, whatever it is, change the ball, but that learning becomes everybody's. And I find that really benefits the atmosphere in the room for learning, because the students lose that inhibition that, oh, I might say something and it reflect poorly on me. But now it's a safe learning space, and they're willing to give out new ideas. And then, as a teacher, I can take those new ideas and we just flourish. One of the driving reasons why I do knowledge building with the children, we have a term for it in the classroom, but essentially we're looking at the world around us and we're learning from each other and we're building, and we are opening their eyes to see possibilities, to not be limited, to have a level of confidence in knowing what they see because they've seen it before, we've talked about it before, they've heard it before. I'm teaching them that you can get something from other people in a respectful way, and you can share something with other people, and that being knowledge, and that being skill, and even being the ability to draw the best out of somebody. Because as a teacher, I think my role is to prepare these students, these young adults, to be adults who have choice, who have empowerment. And I can't think of the word, but there's a word for when they, I call the frame as live life deliberately, which is when they can choose the path that they go on. You know, I've been thinking about something since we started this inquiry, and I came up with this analogy. You know, it's like going on a trip with your family. I have a family of kids here, and I can say to them, we're taking a holiday and we're going here, and this is what bus we're going on, or car, and this is how we're going to get there, and this is the route, and all that stuff. And yes, some of the kids might love to do that. But the way we have it now, where they choose, I think of it this way, they're choosing the destination that they go for the holiday. They choose what mode of transport we're going to get there. They choose what stops we're going to make along the way, where we go for burgers and fries, where we stop for the bathroom. Maybe they see something on the side that's interesting and they want to switch, and we never get to that destination. But I think if you presented that to kids and said, where do you want to go on a holiday? And you have carte blanche, will they be engaged and will they want to plan it out? Absolutely. And I see that analogy as how we're doing the inquiry. And at the end of the day, they're still learning how to plan and book the hotel and research the destination and ultimately enjoy the destination. But it's their choice, not mine. And I'm just there to make sure they don't get lost.